You know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder weirdos on the internet work to find their address. Hello, ladies, men, and non-binary friends. Welcome back. Today we're talking about Chappell Roan, a lesbian pop star who has taken the world by storm with her fun, campy pop music, eccentric outfits and makeup, and blunt personality. I am a huge Chappell Roan fan. I have been for years, and I'm a bit of a gatekeeper. So when she started to get famous, I got a little nervous because I was worried about things like this. Chappell Roan recently spoke out on her TikTok about her experience with weird fan interactions and reasserting her boundaries with her fandom. She's been open about this in the past, and this topic of fans overstepping their boundaries is a well-known, ongoing conversation within the Chappell Roan fandom. Recently, one of her stalkers found out where her parents live and where her sister works, which is a lot. I will not be posting this person's username because, frankly, I don't want to give them any more attention or clout, but you will be able to find them on TikTok if you look hard enough. Since Chappell has posted these videos asserting her boundaries, she's been subjected to heinous backlash, and frankly, I think it's fucking gross, and I'm here to tell you why. Let's dive into the videos in question.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay? I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the fuck?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know, and she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second, okay?
Now, when I watched these, I felt like it was a perfectly reasonable response. This is clearly someone who has been pushed to the brink, and despite being vocal about her boundaries in the past, people still don't seem to get it. This is someone who's had enough, and frankly, I don't blame her. She's entitled to her privacy and her peace. She's a musician and an artist, not a monkey in a zoo. But I was surprised to find, I guess I wasn't that surprised, to find some absolutely dogshit takes on every shitty person's favorite app, Twitter. And here's the thing that's wild to me too, is that people want to go on and on about how they're mental health advocates and they want to support female artists and queer artists. But the minute one of those artists comes out to express their own boundaries, you spit in their face and call them a diva. I don't fucking get it. The entitlement within stan culture is so fucking gross. And it is not normal person behavior. This is fucking obnoxious, reprehensible, garbage person behavior. A musician's job is to give you music that is good and perform on stage after you give them money to see them. That is their job. The stalking stan culture is just going too far. You are not entitled access to her. There is nothing in these artist contracts that says they have to stop immediately and interact with every fan that approaches them on the street. So why are you acting like she does? If she has to stop access to her fans to keep herself safe after experiencing a series of uncomfortable fan interactions, of fans going too far, that is okay. And it should be a lesson to all of us to be better. Stop treating these celebrities and singers and actors like they're your own little performing monkey. They are a person, they don't know you, and they don't know you shit. And this is really just like a classic example of dehumanization. Like, do you not realize that even if someone is famous, they do have feelings, they have anxieties, they have their own shit going on, and should not be expected to have a happy face plastered 24/7, and to answer every beck and call of someone that listened to them on Spotify once? There's a reason why people talk so negatively about early 2000s paparazzi culture. It's because we as a society collectively established that shit was fucking unethical, and it like mentally destroyed people that were involved. Everyone deserves a right to privacy, especially if they haven't done anything wrong. Like, Chappell Roan is just existing, and she's expressed that she's felt unsafe. And if you don't believe that she should have a right to privacy, I think you're a fucking creep. If fans continue to violate her boundaries, she is going to stop making music, and then none of y'all are ever gonna fucking find peace. Because then I'll be after you. Because I have no problem being a bitch. Especially when it's deserved. And I have no doubt that she's receiving more backlash because she's a woman, and a queer woman at that. She has loudly and clearly set her boundaries and been honest about what has upset her, and that has disrupted the comfort of some of the weirdos in her fandom. And when it comes to women, particularly queer women, people are more comfortable voicing their discontent because of their identity. PewDiePie made a video a few years ago about how he doesn't take pictures with fans anymore because it made him feel uncomfortable, like an exhibit in a zoo. And no one came down on him as hard as they're coming down on Chappell Roan. And what really fucking frustrates me is how other women don't understand her. Like, we all grew up on the same fucking planet, right? Every woman that hasn't been stalked or harassed herself knows someone that has experienced that, even when the person harassing or stalking you had the, quote, best of intentions. This is the exact same thing happening here, except it's not some creepy guy from your biology class. It's millions of people who know who you are and want access to you, even if you don't know them. The lack of self-awareness and, again, disgusting entitlement is just so fucking wild to me. And we've seen this before, like, the dissonance is crazy. Pedro Pascal has openly talked about his anxiety and how his fame has affected him. You can tell in interviews he is not nearly as open and vulnerable anymore because 2 years ago, you guys made it fucking weird. Despite how open he has been about his anxiety, he publicly reached out and held hands with a coworker during a con recently, and people freaked out calling him a creep. And to me, as someone who is a fan of Pedro Pascal, this was very clearly like an innocent gesture. And we've even seen other celebrities exhibit this kind of behavior in the past because cons are incredibly stressful and anxiety-inducing. Y'all are still fucking blind to it. Like, you aren't able to reckon with the fact that celebrities may not be made of fucking stone and steel. Niall Horan has spoken openly about his anxieties at the height of One Direction's fame, about how he was afraid to leave his house. Public pressure, paparazzi, weird fan interactions all led to Britney Spears' very public mental breakdown. Amanda Bynes as well. Tom Hiddleston is another good example. He previously made a lot of suggestive jokes about Loki in various interviews when he started at Marvel.
The basis of the Avengers, in essence, is Loki.
I'm trying to get a bunch of bitches to kneel.
And people got weird and over-sexualized him constantly.
Equations on the radio, they don't sound sexy. So when I say, like, Einstein's theory of relativity is E equals mc squared, that's not enticing. So we were going to see if Tom Hiddleston could make these sound a little bit more enticing, do you know?
Okay.
Oh, Fifi's got on there. I'm going to add some dramatic reverb. If you do it into that camera.
Saying weird things to him in person, in interviews. And now, he is an extremely private person. I hardly ever hear about him anymore. And this is a direct result of fucking weird fan behavior. I could go on. Despite being their so-called fans, you don't actually care about any of these people until you've pushed them to their fucking breaking point. And the only way to prevent that from happening is changing your behavior before it becomes harmful. Also, Chappell Roan, like I said, a very openly queer artist, which comes with so many other safety concerns on top of being one of the most popular singers right now. And superfans that use this information to get close to her and share it in the fandom means that it can also be accessed by crazy fucking homophobes that want to do harm to her. Like, I don't understand why this level of, like, basic fucking common sense does not exist in some fandoms. I don't fucking get it. And why these people would dare to call themselves her fans when they're doing the exact thing that she has asked them multiple times not to do. And there really is no excuse because there's so many artists and actors and celebrities that actually do want to take pictures with their fans. Like, they actively encourage it. They'll say, like, if you're a fan of my work, come up and talk to me. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to take a picture. Neil Newbon is a great example of this. He is almost always willing to chat with his fans or take pictures with them. But if he were to come out tomorrow and be like, hey, actually, I'm not really interested in taking pictures anymore, that would also be valid. You don't have to have this, like, gross mindset of gotta catch 'em all. Some celebrities are more outgoing and others are not. Wow, what a fucking novel concept. If you see me in public, I don't mind. I would love to take pictures with my viewers. You have my permission to come up and talk to me and take a photo with me until I say otherwise. But you also need to be respectful of my boundaries and other people's boundaries when they set them out for you. I can't imagine being a pop star on a global scale and having to deal with things like stalking or people contacting members of my fucking family. That's too much for anyone. That's totally over the fucking line. And if you're someone who is bitter about this, if you're like, well, I made her famous, I deserve to have a picture with her. And if she's not going to take a picture with me, I don't want to be a fan anymore. Okay. Bye. Like, Chappell Roan has millions of fans. I think she's going to be fucking fine without you. If you're going to be a creep, if you're going to be a fucking piece of shit, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Bye. Literally could not give a fuck. And I really appreciate her being so open and honest about this because, like, in the past few years, I've also been contemplating, like, is being famous even fucking worth it? Because there is this level of dehumanization that comes with being as famous as Chappell Roan is right now, that, like, maybe it just is better to have a smaller fandom. As long as you can pay your bills, maybe it's better to just be a little bit under the radar and not hit mainstream success. And her being really outspoken about this and turning some people off might be exactly what she wants. Because honestly, if I were in her position, that's probably what I would do too. It's no secret that I'm a fucking loudmouth bitch. Like, not a secret at all. You come here and this is what you get. I would love to make a full video on fandom etiquette because I really feel like some of y'all need a goddamn education. Let me know if you'd want to see that because I feel like fandom culture has gotten so out of hand these past few years. At the end of the day, it's simple. If you're actually a fan, you can't be a selfish asshole. As always, I have Rowan's GoFundMe linked below. She was supposed to attend university this year, but Israel bombed her home and her school out of existence. If you're not able to donate, make sure to leave a like and a comment to boost the algorithm because there's got to be someone on this godforsaken app that can give $1 or $2. I've recently finished a D&D campaign where all the ad revenue goes directly to Palestinian families, so by literally watching D&D, you are helping the people of Palestine. You can watch every episode from beginning to end. It's really fun. It's a magic school vibe, so if you like Fantasy High, you're gonna absolutely love this story and these characters. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Please take care of yourselves. Bye.